Ew, I hate this. I always hate the intros are like the funniest part to me, I swear. Hi everyone. Welcome to This Era, the show that talks about the many sides of me. I'm Kevin and today I'm joined with special guest, my friend Hope Sherise. Hope, hi.
Hello.
Brief
Hi.
interaction. That's what I put in the thing. Brief interaction. This is Hope, everyone. I've been like waiting to do this podcast. I had it like down on my podcast notes, and it was episode 9, I think, but then it changed to episode 8. I'm not sure. And and I'm happy, like, here we are, we're doing it now. And this episode is called Let's Get Metaphysical. Hope, you were the one who told me that. You said let's get metaphysical, and I'm like, that's the title, sweetie. We're doing that.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how that came about, but it is what it is. And it's so funny that this is episode 8 because, you know, I'm not sure how you feel about like numerology or if you've ever heard about it.
Of course.
But 8 has always been like my number. So like, I don't know. It's just really funny that like,
wait,
this is
you're
episode
kidding.
8 too.
For
no,
real,
I swear.
Wait,
yeah.
Hope. Oh my God, I'm getting chills. That is so, wait, hold on. Hope, that is so cool. Dude, okay, so, oh my God, wait, hold on. My boyfriend's probably going to be listening to this. He's been listening to this. And he's also into that, Hope. He's into numerology. And Hope, let me tell you, every single time we're together, we've been seeing so many pairs. And dude, it's insane the amount of times. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, synchronicities.
Yeah, and that too. Ew, Hope. Oh my God, Hope. I'm smiling like crazy right now. I'm smiling like crazy right now because that's what he says. Synchronicities.
Yeah.
It's incredible the way I don't know. I'm happy. I don't know how to explain it. Me and him have this weird energy, dude, and it's like we see numbers, we see the most weirdest synchronicities everywhere. And it's just so funny that you're saying that because like I don't know. I don't know. I feel like that's just making me a little like giddy right now. That's wow. I did not know that.
Do you guys see like a specific number repeated, or like is it just random? You'll just see like 333 or 555.
Yes, we saw 333 on 3. We have the pictures in one of the. We went to a hotel one time, and like we saw once we went into the hotel. We saw the clock and that's what was there, and then sometimes we're on the radio and we see that, and then or the phone. Like it's just weird. I don't know how to explain it. It's like in the perfect moment sometimes, and like we see these numbers and like I just don't know how to explain it, but I'm sure you understand because you understand.
But, yeah, I mean, as much as you can, it's definitely something that it's not really like an explainable phenomenon. It's just kind of like how you interpret it. So whenever I see like synchronicities, I take that as like a moment to reflect on just whatever I was previously thinking about or what I'm doing in that moment, you know, because I take it as like a sign to reflect, you know?
That's beautiful, Hope. What the hell?
Yeah.
Wait, that's really like pretty. Hope, yeah, no, of course. Yeah. Like I feel like I got more in tune with those things like recently, like this past 2 years. I've been like leaning towards, I don't know, I've been like I don't know how to explain it. Like I'm more in tune like with like being present and like noticing things. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like the universe's way of like talking to me like that, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, you're being mindful.
Yeah, very. Yes, more. Yes, of course. Yeah, like it's, I don't know, Hope. It's just I don't know. I'm happy where I'm at, and I don't know. It's just I can go on and on about that, but like all of these synchronicities for sure, it's just insane, and it's something that I don't know how to like explain to somebody. But like I'm you understand, and like a lot of other people understand, but like I don't know, Hope. I'm not making any sense, but
it sounds like out there, you know, like if you've never actually experienced it, then like, you know, like it's just like, okay, you're seeing repeated numbers, what does that mean? Like that just sounds crazy, you know, but a lot of people that start their spiritual journeys, like often, like, they experience synchronicities and, what we call signs from the universe. And
Yes.
it's just all really cool because, like, that makes you wonder, is like, if something is communicating with you, and not just you, but like anyone who starts that spiritual journey,
Yeah. Yes. And that's been happening like more lately.
Mm-hmm,
So am I on
and
my
I noticed,
spiritual journey or what?
if that's what you want to call it, I guess that's just kind of
Yeah.
I don't yeah.
Hope is like, yeah.
I got stuck.
That's okay. That's maybe we had to get stuck. Hope, I was telling the audience the other day, I don't know what episode I introduced them to The Power of Now, and I was explaining that you showed me that book, that you're the one who you showed me that book.
I think it was with Jose Guzman because I was listening to that one.
Yeah.
And I remember you brought up the book and I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's such a good book.
Yes.
So good.
You introduced it to me.
Yeah, and I feel like it's one of those books that comes into your life when you need it to come,
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, someone who introduced the book to me wasn't even someone that was in my life for a long time. They're just like, hey, you know what? Read this book. And I was just like, all right. And it definitely changed my perception. And I've read it a couple times. Of course, I don't remember everything in the book, but it's just really important. I think that once you start to dive into that part of, your consciousness, the fact that, there's a way to live without just being run by your subconscious.
Yeah.
And you start to be more conscious of, and mindful of, the fact that you are in control. And I don't know, it's kind of liberating because first it's confusing because you're like, wait, what do you mean? I thought I was in control the whole time.
Yeah.
But really, like, I think it's like, I don't know the percentage, but like 90% of our lives is run by our subconscious programming.
Yeah.
So, when you kind of start to take a step back from that and you take more responsibility for, the things that happen in your life and how you perceive things, and everything just kind of starts making a little bit more sense. And then that's the thing about being like on a quote unquote spiritual journey, is that things start to make sense and then other things start to not make sense. And, you kind of go back and forth with yourself, and it can be like frustrating. It can be a little bit overwhelming, and a lot of people do get depressed. I mean, I know I went through like a phase where I was just like, okay, if I'm like, a soul possessing this body and I know it's temporary, why am I even here? So, I mean, it's really easy to fall into the whole, like, it's easy to get hopeless about the situation because you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
So, it's a whole thing. And I started my spiritual journey probably a couple of years ago, just like you.
Yeah.
And it's been really fun, and there's been ups and downs, and I've learned a lot. And I think that it just comes down to, like, do you want to take control of living your life the way that, makes you most fulfilled?
Yeah.
I'm going to pause because of this beeping of this
okay.
Amazon Prime truck. I think it's actually my
package. I love it. I work at Amazon.
Oh, yeah, I know. How is that going?
Oh, God. It's like COVID ruined it, dude. I swear.
Ooh.
It just changes
In what
everything.
way?
A lot. Just the process, like the way they do their process. Like any type of process in there, it's different now because of it. Mm-hmm. Because of, social distancing and but it's kind of like it almost made it feel like it got worse because they put these plastic film things and people are touching them, and I'm like, we never had people touch something like this as much, and now you have people touching it. So isn't that worse?
Yeah.
It makes no sense. But yeah, just a bunch of dumb things like that.
I feel.
Did the beeping stop?
Yeah, now there's sirens. I don't know if you could hear them.
A little bit, but that's okay. We're okay. We're living life in New York. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, in New York.
Imagine if it was like fucking, if it was like all loud outside. How would you do a podcast? I would have to have like uh a bunch of soundproofing in my room or something to be in New York and do a podcast. I don't know how people do it over there, but I'm sure.
Right.
But Hope, no, you very well said, Hope. Like I don't know. I feel like I've taken a huge step, and I know some people who have taken a really huge step, like in their journey, and that's what I feel. For me, I feel like I just took this like fat step, and I'm still going, but something like I reached something, like I passed something. I don't know how to explain it, and that I wanted to like sort of touch on this, this one topic that I wrote down because I thought it was really interesting and perfect for this episode, about coincidences. It was this guy. He was like talking about how coincidences are the universe's way of nudging us towards like the path that we're supposed to be. And
right.
I don't know if that makes any sense, but like when coincidences occur, like to act on them and like change your plans. Like not change your plans, but like when you like see the universe like saying, hey, do this, go over here to like do that. And like how everything would like go, right. Like this guy, he was talking about how his friend like, was always like doing like everything was going right for him, whatever. And like, or how he like said it, whatever. And the guy told him like, I have like moments where like something, happens and like I act on it. Like I don't ignore it. I like, sort of like your gut feeling. I have so many, I've had so many moments where my, I feel like my intuition is like, hey, don't go here or don't do that. And I trust that, and it turns out to be correct, like right, and like that's what I mean, like trusting like my gut feeling, and like if I'm driving a car and my body says turn to the left over here because you probably are gonna go on an accident right here, to do it, and then he was talking about some other person told him like, I realized something later, and he was saying like when you're staying present is when when you notice them and you can like act on them. And I think it's so interesting, Hope, because recently, like I said, this past year I've been like having and I'm not the only one, but I've been having like moments where something happens and like, but like I'm more present and I notice more of the synchronicities. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, yeah, I'm noticing more like when the synchronicities, like when something happens, that's like the numbers, I'm in those moments I'm more present. Like that's when I'm more present. When I'm more present is when I notice these things. And like it's more meaningful.
Or maybe do you notice that like sometimes when you're really not present at all, you notice the synchronicity and it brings you back to the present?
Yes. And that could be the universe being like, hey,
Yeah, it's like urging you to reflect on whatever situation you may be in or whatever thought you may have been having. And sometimes it's hard to like to catch whatever thought you were just in. But I think that's often like just like how you mentioned about you'll get like a gut feeling and you'll listen to it. I feel like that happens through synchronicity as well. So if you get like, okay, I'm just gonna give a random story.
Yeah,
I was this was probably a year ago, and I was on my way to Phoenix on the highway, and I was on my way to go to a concert. I was really excited. I was gonna be late, so I was trying to like get there faster, and I was speeding. And this is the first time I've ever like experimented with speeding in any way. So like I definitely took it a little too far. I was going like 100 and like over 100. So it was bad. And I didn't realize how bad it was in the moment,
Yeah.
But then I noticed a couple times while I was doing that I kept seeing my birthday on license plates. I saw it literally like maybe at least 2 different times. It may have been 3, but I know for a fact that I saw it 2 different times on 2 different license plates.
That's
I saw
crazy.
818, yeah, or 0818.
Yeah.
And those are always the numbers that speak to me. I'm just like, this is, like I said, a year ago. So like, I really wasn't too sure how to interpret like synchronicities and stuff. And I was really caught up in just like, the moment. So I was seeing these numbers and I didn't really pay attention to them. And I ended up getting pulled over and, I got in like some trouble because
Yeah.
I was speeding and whatever. And, it was a bad situation that I put myself in. And now looking back at it, if I were to have possibly, had the same mindset that I do now about synchronicities,
Yeah.
maybe I would have saw those numbers and been like, okay, I need to reflect on something. What do I need to reflect on? What am I doing right now? Maybe I would have slowed down and I wouldn't have, gotten pulled over and blah, blah, blah. So I think that it can be interpreted in many different ways, but I think at the end of the day, no matter what, it's always a sign to reflect on whatever's happening in that moment. And it's really, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just going to say like that just reminded me like that, being present, like where it's like, it reminds you to be like, oh, here, like now, like,
right,
what are you doing now? Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it could be, in my opinion, I feel like it could be a sign that you're on the right track, or it could be a sign that maybe you need to, reiterate and figure out if it's the right track,
Yes.
So I think that that's why a lot of people do like experience synchronicities on the beginning of their spiritual journey, because they're kind of getting more in tune to the fact that, signs from the universe do exist. And I feel like that's the universe's way of, saying, hey, like, you're on the right track. And then a lot of people, just like me, when I was first in that phase, I was noticing a lot, like everywhere, repeating numbers, blah, blah, blah. And then it kind of started to fade away. And like nowadays, like I don't, yeah.
Oh my God. What happened? Did you like your train of thought like went away or what?
Oh no, I heard you say something, so I thought you were gonna add
Hope,
something.
Oh my God, no! I'm just reacting because I'm just like, I don't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So it's okay, but picking up where I was just saying that, like nowadays, I don't experience repeating numbers as often. So whenever I do, I know to reflect, and if I'm seeing them a lot, then maybe there's something big that either is coming or that I need to prepare for. But
yeah,
it's all about interpretation, honestly.
Mm-hmm. I was like, you said that you like were, you were seeing repeating numbers and like it like faded away, and like that reminded me of, I remember I don't know when it was. I think it was like middle school or like starting high school. I was seeing a lot of repeating numbers, and then it went away. Mm-hmm. That went away, and then recently now like these past like few whatever months, it's been like more repeating numbers again, and not me, just like I don't know. It's just I don't know. I thought that was interesting about the numbers. Like,
well, I mean, maybe I think, didn't you start your podcast within these last few months as well?
Yeah,
yeah. So I mean, I don't know everything that's going on in your life, but it sounds like, I think that this is definitely the universe like pushing you, or just giving you the reassurance that you need. Because sometimes synchronicities are, they're reassuring. Like you're seeing these numbers, you're like, okay, I'm on the right track. And I feel like as long as everything in your life is going the way that you want it to go and that it's fulfilling for you, then, you're on the right track. So if you were maybe seeing all these repeated numbers, but you reflect on your life and, you don't like what you see, or something's not going quite well, then, you can interpret it the opposite,
Yeah.
You need to.
Hope, when did you start like getting, what was the first thing you like, I don't know, me and you are, I don't know, like I remember meeting you and like I gravitated so much towards you because you like know the things that I know in a way. And
yeah.
And like when did you like start going into more like in depth, like all of these things that we know, like about anything. I don't know, all of this, like crystals and, you know,
Yeah.
meditation, all of these things. What,
Spirituality.
yeah. When do you know when, like when you started?
It must have been about, I would say, like I said earlier, it's been a couple of years, but I think the thing that really like nudged me to this like mindset was the fact that like I was in a pretty deep like depression, right? I was going through like a super hard time. I was um doing my thing, and I was just sad, and I was sad for years, and I just wanted to figure out I knew that I didn't want to feel like that, and I knew that my life wasn't going the way that I wanted it to go.
Yeah.
So then I just kind of started reflecting on things and really just asking the questions that I needed to ask to figure out, like, why was my life not fulfilling for me at the time. So
Yeah.
I read the book, The Four Agreements, and that like totally like opened my brain. Like I think that was the first book that I read, and I was just like, whoa, like there's a whole nother
Yeah.
like there's a whole nother world out there that like I really haven't explored. So yeah, I think that what sparked my spiritual journey is just the hard times that I've been through, and the fact that like I don't want to keep going through the same negative patterns over again. And in order to do that, you have to figure out and take responsibility for why things are not going the right way for you.
Yeah. I don't know. I can like go. It's a whole. This is like a whole. We can go like. I'm like my brain is going in so many directions. Like it's a lot. I feel like you're gonna go through your own journey. Like people.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen, and you're gonna be like, wow, and like I don't know. I don't know. I'm like I hope like I'm like smiling like crazy, and like I just don't know how like I don't know. It's just crazy. Like you, and then like I don't know you because you understand these things, and it's cool to be able to like reflect, especially with someone about these things, because I don't know. That's cool. I think that's so awesome. Hope, what the hell? Hope, thank you for like
I mean,
talking to me,
Yeah, I mean, thank you. I mean, I'm really glad that we met too. I think that also like the reason why we met is because we're on that same kind of frequency, and we attracted each other.
Very like that. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So it's all really cool. And I mean, you don't meet too many people that like, are even willing to, dive a little bit deeper than what is on the surface. So.
Like that. That's what I mean. Like, I don't know. I like never really, you're like, it's you, my boyfriend, obviously me and him are like in the same wavelength. Who else? I'm probably like, maybe like one person, like one more person, but that's it. Or like, those are the only people that really like get that. I'm not get that, but it's just like know things like, I don't know how to explain it. Like the Four Agreements, for example, like that, like, or I don't know. I don't know. That I think that's so cool, and it feels right, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Very gut feeling, very like, this is it. And speaking of the Four Agreements, because I'm sure someone is probably listening and they're like, what is that? The Four Agreements is a book. It's a practical guide to personal freedom, and it's by Don Miguel Ruiz, the artist. What the author? And Hope, you also introduced this to me. And you know what's funny is that I ordered this book in Spanish for my mom, and my cousin also read it before, and my cousin Araceli, and my boyfriend read it, the whole book. He read The Power of Now and the Four Agreements, and he's like reading other books too. He's like reading way more books than me. Like I don't know. And which is cool, wisdom, everyone. We love knowledge. And yeah, like you introduced this to me, and I gave it to, who did I give it to? I think 2 family members, but most of my family read it. And you know what's funny is that like either some of my family like came across it, or like I introduced it to them, and like I don't know, I think it's like I don't know how to explain this. Like it's like some like I would see like my mom reading it or something. She does it very little by little, and I'm like I get happy. I'm like, oh my god, like she's like reading like I don't know, because I read the
Mm-hmm.
book and like I understand like I've learned a lot from it, and like I like the fact that you know, like she's reading it and she can like take that like wisdom, whatever, you know, like learn something. Like I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really
Yeah.
cool, um, or beautiful, whatever you want. I don't know what I'm saying. Hi ho.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like it's awesome to know that. I mean, I don't want to take any credit, but I think it's really cool that you took um my recommendation to like look into those books, and I
Yeah.
definitely have a couple more. I mean, that same author wrote
Oh yeah.
he wrote the three questions. I really like that one. And also one about love. Let me see. I haven't finished that one yet. Oh, the mastery of love.
Ooh.
Those are also really good ones too. And the mastery of love is like so, oh my gosh, like the way that he sees this reality and like relationships and just the state of like being human is just like it's so it's amazing, and there's a lot to take away from it. So I mean, those are a couple more that maybe you can explore if you get the chance.
Cool. I'm gonna add it right here. I'm actually I'm gonna try to do an audiobook because I want to I want to like do audiobooks.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah. But yes, I added it to my thing. I see. Like I don't know. I like it. What's it called? I remember you came. Like I said that in one of the episodes. I said that that you came to. It was during New Year when you came to my house.
Oh,
Remember?
hmm,
And I
yeah.
think that was the day, right? That you and like you like were holding the book and it fell and all that, and like, but I feel like it was right. I was like, you know, it's okay. Like you lost the bookmark, whatever. And I'm like, maybe like I need to reread it.
Oh,
You know,
yeah, I remember that.
like I wasn't really like that didn't bother me. I was like, oh well, you know, maybe that had to happen. And like,
Right, and yeah.
Hope, what do you? How do you approach like things? Like, do you approach it fully in like with you know? I don't know if I'm gonna make any sense. Like, do you approach like everything with like your like the spiritual like spiritualness, or do you like for me? I have this. Feel like I have like these two sides where I'm like oh well maybe this could have been this and not that like I like have like two
Hmm.
like a two-sided, maybe because I'm like a Gemini or something, I don't know. But
Oh my gosh.
I see
Uh,
things in two different sides all the time.
so I think that that is honestly one of the most like important, um, you know, uh, traits to have, like with, it's just so important. Like you can't be one sided about everything.
Okay.
You can't be sure about, anything. You can, and that's why I also, it's really hard for me to say, I believe in this, I believe in that, or this is what's true and that is not true. Anything could be true. Like there's no real telling, um,
Yeah.
what is the solid answer, because I feel like it's, this life and reality that we're living is just way more complex. And um, I'm the same way. Like, if I'm gonna, say that if something resonates with me, then awesome. But like usually it's not going to become like a core part of like, the way I think on a day to day basis, unless I have like, if I've explored, both spectrums of, of whatever the topic. So when it comes to like, um, synchronicities. Like I was on the spectrum where I was like, oh, like, those repeating numbers don't mean anything. And then I was like, okay, maybe they do mean something. And now I've had kind of both perspectives where I've ignored synchronicities and found that maybe that wasn't the right move. Like maybe it could have helped me some other way. Um, but it's just really important to be open minded. And a lot of people want to be perceived as open minded, but in all reality, it's a lot harder um, than it looks to actually be open minded. we all have, certain concepts and beliefs that we think that that resonate best with us, and that's totally fine. And
Yeah.
That's another thing about being quote unquote spiritual, is that there's it's easy to kind of fall into like a state where you reject anything that isn't what you believe. And even if you are quote unquote spiritual, or let's say you're religious, no matter what, you should always like have that trait that we just spoke about, is that you should be open to other beliefs, because we're always going to be learning till the day that we die. And if we're not learning, it's because we're not open to learning, and usually that's not going to be very helpful. Because I don't think that in any state we're ever meant to be stagnant either.
Yeah.
But
Hope,
yeah.
like, you know how to use your words, sweetie, because I'm like, Hope is like, she's speaking.
Oh, I try.
You try, Hope. It's just happening. You're not trying. I was going to say, what happened? Hope, are you nervous? You were nervous to do this, right? Were you nervous? I'm not saying.
Yeah, I mean, the hype is real. Like when I posted it on my Instagram, I had people that are like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so excited!"
Really?
I'm just like,
"Oh,
yeah!" Like I'm excited too. Like I'm really happy to be here, and to be given this opportunity. It's definitely a first for me.
A first for me too, because I mean, I'm just talking. Hope, I think you would. Yeah. Oh my god, I say this to a lot of people, but I think like you would do such a great podcast, like with whatever like I think that would be so cool. I would love that. Maybe hopefully one day.
I was thinking about it. I was like, I like the fact that like I can just sit here and talk. Like yes. I don't have to. Like I just got out of the shower. Like I'm outside. My hair is air drying. Like I'm just wearing comfy clothes. I can just like chill and just, I don't know, reflect on whatever comes about. So I was thinking about it too. Like I thought about, maybe doing something like this, and the fact that like I've been invited to even try this is kind of, it's a sign for me to like maybe look more into it. So
I mean, for me, it definitely future, like but, it feels like therapy.
Oh yeah,
it's like, sure. And I got to reflect on a lot of like what's on my mind and like speak. Like I don't know how to explain it, because like, so in my setup right here, I'm listening to myself. Like I can hear, I have my headphones on, and I'm hearing you, and I'm hearing my voice in real time. It's really weird, but it's so strange. But like it's I don't know. I'm like speaking to myself, but like not like, I don't know, but it's like really good. Like I've learned so much throughout these past episodes, and like I got to reflect on some things, and like I got excited, or like things like that. And I think it's something like I said, where I don't know what episode I talked about it, where I was like, I speak to myself sometimes. I'm like doing something, and I'm like talking to myself, but not like in my head, like my little inner dialogue, where I'm like, maybe you could do this, or I don't know. I like to like talk to myself. That sounds like insane. Like people are probably like, you're talking, but that's like how society, whatever. But you know what I mean? Like
I definitely do it.
I gotta do this. What am I doing? Or I don't know.
Yeah, and I think that inner dialogue is also definitely something to like a lot of us like ignore it. Like a lot of us have no real like we don't realize the fact that like we are talking to ourselves all the time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that inner voice is actually what people like to call our ego. Ooh. So yeah, and it's really interesting because you can have an inner voice that's not beneficial for you. You can. I mean, I've been there where, you beat yourself up and you say negative things to yourself, and like, oh, you're not worth this, you deserve that. Yeah. But that's not you. That is actually a result of your subconscious programming. And the thing that's so like helpful about, being mindful is you get to like, you get to watch yourself as the observer, as,
Yes.
what was it, if you read the Four Agreements, that's where that concept was introduced to me, is you kind of take a step back, you realize that you are not your thoughts, and you are actually,
Yeah.
the higher power. And it's like super hard to explain, and I fully don't understand it myself, but I mean, it's something to just wonder about, I guess. It's like,
Yeah.
is that really you? You know?
Yeah. I finished the book recently, actually, like the Four Agreements.
Right.
Like barely.
Mm-hmm.
But I took it
Oh,
like
cool.
where like, oh, I needed I don't know, like it was the last few chapters where, I stopped, and then one day I was like, today's the day, you need to read it today. Read it, read it, read it, read it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, Kevin God, like I'm gonna read it. And I read it. and it was so weird. It's like it felt right. I was like, wait, what the hell? Like I was supposed to listen. I needed this. Like it's just so
Yeah.
insane. And I finished it.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the little prayer that it has. The Four Agreements has like these like prayers on the back, like about like universal prayer. I thought it was so pretty. And I said it, like I said, my mom has a Spanish version, and I read it like in
Mm-hmm.
front of her, like in Spanish, one of the prayers. And it was just, I don't know, I thought it was really beautiful, the prayers. And
Yeah.
speaking of, all of the metaphysics, let's get metaphysical, sweetie. I got it
Mm-hmm.
from, I took it from Google, okay, because I'm not an expert. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Metaphysics is the branch of philosophy that examines the fundamental nature of reality, including the relationship between mind and matter, between substance and attribute, and between potentiality and actuality. Mind over matter. What do you want to say about that? Because oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, it's all just, I was watching, TikTok and whatnot, and I'm definitely on
Me.
spiritual TikTok for sure.
Oh god, me too.
And, and I came across this quote where it says, I have it right here. Um, As long as we perceive the physical to be all that is real, we will continue to be the slaves of incomplete reality.
Wait,
So,
can you repeat it again? Like, I need to hear that again.
yes, yes. So, as long as we perceive the physical to be all that is real, we will continue to be slaves to the incomplete reality.
Oh my god, that's literally wow.
Right? It's like
Yeah.
mind blown. But yeah, like that's the whole thing about, metaphysics and stuff, is kind of just realizing that like the physical isn't all that is real.
Yeah.
And, if you have ever, I'm sure you've seen stuff about law of attraction and,
very.
Right?
Yeah.
So that literally has to do with, creating the reality that you deem most fulfilling through, your feelings and your thoughts. And, with that whole concept, your feelings are definitely way more important than the physical thoughts, because sometimes you can be thinking something and you can be like, okay, I want to manifest this. Let's say okay, let me think of something. If I'm trying to manifest the perfect apartment,
Okay.
if I am thinking to myself like, okay, I want, the perfect apartment, blah, 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 I specify whatever that is. If I'm not feeling in that moment that I, deserve the apartment, or even just the feeling of wanting something,
Okay.
you're going to attract whatever feeling that you are feeling in that moment, So if I'm saying I want this, I want that, that is literally communicating to myself that I don't have this. And so that's what I will get back, is not having that,
Oh. Okay.
So the concept is you manifest what you are. So if you want to manifest abundance, you have to feel abundant.
Oh, wait. Oh my god.
You have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Continue. No, continue.
Yeah.
I just got chills because I love that.
Right? Like, and it's just like kind of groundbreaking, because like, a lot of people have, tried manifesting and they're like, why am I not getting results? Blah, blah, blah. It's like anything that comes into your life, you attracted, no matter what frequency, whether it's good or bad, and taking responsibility for that is really important. So it's all just, it takes a lot of practice for sure. And it does take a lot of mindfulness because you need to, really feel what you want to come to you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I've been practicing it. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just saying, like, I'm something that I think is like, I don't know, my family has had so many, I don't know, like the rest of my family doesn't really like, they don't really see that. Like, it's so weird. I feel really good that I have like, family members like my parents and stuff that like that practice this and they understand this. And like, I want to give a little thing that I wanted to say that, my dad, he has a like vision board, and every single time he wakes up, he sees this. And I like, something that I really wanted to bring up is that, the house that I'm in right now, the house that I'm currently recording this podcast, it's a house that we've all wanted, and that we all like, we wanted to be in this neighborhood. Hope, there was this neighborhood that we used to live in. And my parents, they really wanted to live here. They were like, oh, we would love to be living there again. Hopefully we get a house there again. Like, we want to live here. And it was such a, like, my dad has his vision board, and he had that on his vision board. And Hope, one beautiful day, we get this message, there's a house available on the same street as our old house. Is that just not insane? We were all like, what? And we got the house, and it's perfect, and it's exactly what my parents wanted. And they are like, this is what we manifested. This is what we wanted. It's just insane, Hope. Like, and I've had so many moments, with things that I have, physical things too that I have, and other things too, like that, I brought. But like, I'm not saying I feel like I didn't bring up with any like effort. Like, I did it like, because that's what, I don't know how to explain. Just manifestation, Hope. It's I don't know. I think it's like so powerful. Like, what? It's like it's superpower. Cool.
Yeah. And I mean, to whoever may be listening to this, like, I think that, maybe if you'd like, you can go ahead and try. Like, if you want an upgrade to your phone, but let's say literally anything is possible.
Yes.
You want a free phone, start attracting a free phone.
Period.
Like, but feel the feelings of having that free phone. Like, imagine yourself having it in your hand and just being so grateful and relieved of, you having that experience, and just see what happens, And also another thing to really, it comes along, it's like hand in hand with, the whole manifestation thing. If you're asking for something, you may have to lose another thing to get what you're asking for,
Yeah.
And that can be really hard because, maybe you're attracting a really healthy relationship. I want, I feel like this is what I need. I need love and compassion and effort. And you may find that, like, your partner that you're currently with, maybe, take it away from you, and it sucks. It really does. But then when you have to think about it in the way that you can't get, well, let's see. How do I phrase this? I mean, you have to have some sort of change to get something different,
Yeah.
So if you're asking for something different, something has to change, something has to go, and
that's
sometimes
so
it's hard, but yeah.
I've had
so
like
it's kind of
a moment like that where I'm like, I got something and then I lost like something else, but I'm like at peace to it. I feel an incredible, like a really good, like immense amount of peace with it.
Yeah.
I'm like, thank you. Like, I don't know, like, I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
But
you had to make room.
Yes.
Make room for what you want. Right.
Hope, I'm a big fan of, it reminded me because you said, make room and stuff like that. In my room, it's very like not clean, but I just don't have a lot of stuff. And I got rid of so many things. I got rid of things that are unnecessary. I'm not a minimalist, but I'm not a minimalist at all. But I got rid of stuff that just doesn't bring any joy to me.
Well, I can argue that, well, I mean, that you are a minimalist because that's the concept of minimalism. It's just
Really?
having the things that bring you value. Yeah, it's
Oh
not about
wow.
having
Okay.
nothing. It's about like, yeah. So I mean, it's cool. Like it's easy to get misconstrued with that, but if it's bringing you value and some sort of fulfillment, then there's no reason why it shouldn't be there.
Yay for
Minimalism is just
minimalist.
about, yeah, it's all really cool.
I feel
I
like
mean, I had junk and
wait, what happened?
go ahead.
What'd you say? You had junk?
I have junk. Yeah, I mean, I have like a little closet full of boxes that I haven't unpacked from moving into this place, and
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. It is what it is. Like as long as it's not interfering negatively with
Yeah.
your ability to be at peace with your space.
Yeah. I don't know.
Did you see the minimalism documentary?
From Netflix? Are you talking about the Netflix one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I actually
Uh-huh.
watched that one. I did recently. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it was
Yeah.
funny because I'm like, oh, like, you know, I don't know. I didn't feel like, but I mean, I guess minimalism is what I'm practicing, right? I don't know. Um,
Yeah.
I some people tell me they're like, why how is your room so clean, or how do you,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, well, first, like, I don't know, I feel like I've always been organized because I'm lucky I have my parents, like my mom
Mm-hmm.
especially, she's the one who, like, I just always was like with her, like cleaning and all that. And
Mm-hmm.
but another thing is that I remember, like, this was like a long time ago where people were like saying that, like, if you clear stuff that you don't need, your mind would be more clear. And I think I know that
Yeah.
that's like an actual psychological thing, like where
Mm-hmm.
if you have a bunch of like junk in the way, like that'll like that also is like not freeing like space inside your mind, you know and
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, I did watch it. What did you watch? You watched the documentary?
Yeah. It's been like probably over a year, but that definitely was another key part of uh, mindfulness, because that's also a mindfulness
Yes.
technique. You have cluttered space. Probably you may have like a cluttered mind at times. So, um, and also, your outer reality is always going to be, a reflection of um,
Exactly.
your inner state. So,
Yes.
yeah.
That's a perfect way to like putting it, like, for sure. It almost, you know what it
Uh
reminds you of? It reminds me of, like,
huh.
well, like you said, I mean, you said it, but like I'm over here like interpreting it again. Like, I don't know, my brain does that,
Right.
where I'm like
Go ahead.
regurgitating it. Um,
Uh huh.
where my I think it's just funny. Hold on. Like, where my physical reality is like tied to my, like, the state of mind that I have. Like,
Yes.
it's like, if I'm like, I think that happens. I think I saw something about that where people who are like, I'm not saying everyone, okay? I don't mean to. I'm not saying everyone, but where some
Mm-hmm.
like hoarders had like some, psychological or like subconscious thing that, like, and it's like manifesting into like this, like into junk,
Oh,
like where,
yeah.
if, like, I do know that some, I'm not saying all, but some people who were born more like poorer in the, in the
Mm-hmm.
past, would have more stuff now, like they want to hold more stuff now. I'm not saying
Yeah.
everyone, but like, I mean, I've my family, we've had like fair share of like a lot of stuff in our house, and
Mm-hmm.
we really, really, really took out so many things. We don't
Right.
like my parents. I'm not just saying me in my room. Like, my mom has taken out so many things. And
Mm-hmm.
hey, speaking of that, like, Hope, like, what are you attached to, like, material things? Like, do you, like, if let me like if someone in your life like passed away and they have all of these things, I mean, I'm gonna take like maybe one or two items, but I would get rid of everything else. Are you like that? Like, are you like,
Yeah. Yeah. Like it's like the whole concept of minimalism is only holding on to the things that bring you value, and a lot of people get a little bit confused about what really brings them value. They attach material to value, and
yeah,
um, material does not equal value for sure. It's about, the feeling, the attachment. Um, and really in this reality that we're living in, everything is temporary. Like everything here is made to be destroyed,
Period.
including, our bodies,
Yeah.
infrastructure,
That's crazy.
concepts, philosophies, everything. It is all temporary. It can all be changed. And I think it can be really overwhelming to like sit with that and be like, okay, everything is temporary no matter what.
Very
And it's like,
philosophical, Hope.
it sucks. Like, and I went through like a little phase where I was like, oh no, like, because you have that attachment. Like, it's kind of like a really socially acceptable these days. And it's really normalized to be attached to, material things. But,
Yeah.
it's not all that there is. And we're here for more than just that. And a lot of people that get stuck in that whole cycle of, if I have this, if I have that, then I will be happy or I will be fulfilled. And that's why you see all these stories about, rich people that have
Oh
everything and
God,
they're
yeah.
just like, I hate my life,
And they're all
because
depressed.
right. Yeah.
Money can't
So
buy you happiness, technically.
no,
I
never.
mean, sometimes I feel like money buys me happiness. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I gotta get a Starbucks, and I'm all happy, and I spent
Yeah.
money.
Yeah. I mean, well, that's how it is. Like, I'm really happy with, my little townhouse that I live in.
Yeah,
That brings me comfortability and therefore, it helps me be content with the state that I'm in right now. So
that's
it's
beautiful.
important. There's a reason why we live in a material world, but um, it's the way you interpret it matters most.
Yeah. Hope you're vegan,
Like,
right?
yeah, I'm vegan. I would say maybe these days I'm a little bit more vegetarian just because,
Me.
I mean, it's hard, it's definitely a big commitment and, sometimes you just don't want to, miss out on certain things. And, if you're at a birthday party and they're cutting cake for everyone, I don't want to say no to the
I
cake.
know. Oh my God, I love cake.
So, I mean,
I
right,
don't really eat a
totally.
lot of cake, but like I do like cake.
Yeah, like on the rare occasions where you're able to have it and you want to be able to enjoy it.
I had a
Um,
teacher who was like fully vegan. Her name was Carly, and she was so
oh,
pretty. She had like tattoos like everywhere. I loved her. She was my art teacher,
yeah,
and she was like she was
cute.
really vegan. And I remember me and my friend
Uh-huh.
we got Krispy Kreme donuts for everyone else, and we got vegan donuts like for her. And like I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
like that was so cool. Like, and it was funny because like everyone like we had another teacher who was like, he thought that vegan donuts were healthy, and like Carly was like, just because they're vegan doesn't mean it's healthy. Like, vegan is like
Yeah,
I feel like people think that like vegan is like you can eat like stuff that's not good for you and it's still vegan, you know.
right. You can definitely be unhealthy vegan for sure.
Unhealthy vegan. I'm vegan, but the unhealthy kind. No, I eat a lot of. I had people ask me, dude, you have no idea. Like, Hope, like people have asked me, like
Yeah.
they're like, "Are you vegan? Aren't you vegan? I thought you were vegan." And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, "No, like I eat a lot of like things that are labeled as vegan. I do eat a lot of vegan things, but I
Yeah.
don't. I'm not vegan. I don't think I'm vegan. I'm like way veg. I eat a
Mm-hmm.
lot of like. I feel like I just don't eat a lot of like meats the way other people
Yeah.
do. Like I eat like maybe chicken like maybe like
Mm-hmm.
once or twice or three times a month. That's it.
Right, right. You just try and
Yesterday I got
minimize
that.
it and
Yeah.
right. Uh-huh. And I mean, I went like super um like when I first learned about the whole like, animal agriculture industry, I was like
Oh
disgusted. I was like,
God, yeah.
no, I can't I don't want to be ignorant to that, so I'm just gonna go cold turkey. So like I cut out all land animals and I was like, I'm gonna keep fish in my diet. So I
Yeah.
did. I ate fish for like a couple more months and I was like I did a little bit more research and I was like, wow, like I really can't be ignorant to fish either because like I don't want like it's like a I think the reason why I kept eating fish is because I thought that maybe they didn't have the same form of like intelligence as other animals and stuff. But
Yeah.
when you learn that they literally do, and it's they're not in the best situations that you know we would want them to be because
No.
you know because we want to they get eaten and there's a lot of people to eat. That's
Yeah.
a lot of people that need to eat. So if you're feeding everyone the same thing, you need a lot of like that supply. So,
Oh
um,
God, yeah.
and it's about you also have to find a balance because if you're not happy, you know, it's hard to explain because you can become a little bit of an outcast, and
Yeah.
you can't have the same meals as your family and stuff, and then you get those people that will judge you if you do decide to like eat meat. But really it's just about being in line with your morals, and
Yeah.
if you feel like it's morally wrong to be paying these industries that are literally torturing animals, and at the same time making us humans super unhealthy,
Yeah.
then like you do your best to minimize it. And um, it's
We
just a balance. You don't have to be full on vegan in order to make an impact.
yeah. We we've
But
we've had um in my family we had like family members that are like they've lessened does that is that a word, like they minimized the amount of meat consumption, and it changed like everything. It changed like the like
mm-hmm.
everything about their bodies.
Yeah.
Especially my dad is like he used to eat so much, and when he's like slowed it
Uh-huh.
down, he we've noticed like actual changes. And like I'm so lucky
Right.
that I introduced my mom and my dad, but my mom mainly
Mm-hmm.
to like almond milk and all of these things, and now she drinks that. That's all we drink: almond milk, oat
Yeah.
milk, any type of like plant based products, like a vegan
Mm-hmm.
half and half. We make foods with, yesterday I made tostadas, but with
Right.
the impossible meat,
Oh
and
yeah.
it was so good. I love the impossible meat. I get that
Mm-hmm.
sometimes in when I go to Cheesecake Factory. They have a burger, and it's the Impossible Burger,
Ooh,
and like it's really good.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Cause I don't know. I'm still like I can't get rid of those things. I still love those things, and like if there's an
Mm-hmm.
alternative, beautiful. Cause I know that some people
Right.
really fully get rid of it, or other people like they
Uh-huh.
have like their alternatives. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
if there's an alternative available, I'm gonna take it. You know,
Yeah, because you're so used to eating a certain way, it's like really hard to just go
it's
completely
really hard.
foreign,
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking
Yeah,
of
like
plants
they've
and food
really.
and stuff. Oh,
Uh-huh.
sorry, Hope. Oh my God, did I cut you off? I didn't mean to.
No worries, it's okay.
Okay, okay, Hope. I ordered. I don't know if you heard of the company Om mushrooms, like Om, like OM.
Oh no.
I ordered a like a mushroom blend. It has 10
Oh.
mushrooms and 3 botanical adaptogens. And like it said,
Hmm.
like people were like a lot of people were like recommending it and like talking about it, and it says they claim to help with mental clarity and like managing stress and like natural energy and like immune defense and all that. And I do know that mushrooms like are really good for you and stuff, but yeah, I've recently like I ordered that. It's called O Mushroom Superfood, and it's the master blend, and I've been taking that, and I don't know if I noticed something. I think I do. I don't know. Like I've been taking more of these
Mm-hmm.
like more like not supplements, but just ever since I started taking more like supplements, things like that, that like
Mm-hmm.
I felt, because I did, I was before I was like not low on energy, but like I would like, for example, I would get up and I would, um, I know that when you're like, when you need more iron in your body, like I needed more iron.
You're like, okay.
I needed more iron, and like, I just felt weird. And ever since I started taking more like things with more supplements and more like stuff like just things that my body probably needs, I feel better now. Like I don't feel these things that
Mm-hmm.
I've had before. And my mom's the same way. She's like also doing like she's been drinking like a lot of like lots of fruits and vegetables. Like she makes like a smoothie and stuff like that. Little by little we do little things like that to try to be more healthy and mindful of like what we eat. um
Yeah.
Me and my mom especially are like that. I don't know. We're taking it little by little. Like obviously, I don't know. We can't like fully
Mm-hmm.
dive into like, oh my God, I'm gonna be vegan one
Yeah.
day. I do know a lot of people who like go vegan because of like health problems, and then when they go vegan, boom, all of those
Mm-hmm.
problems are gone. Like, isn't
Yeah.
that
Yeah. I
incredible?
think That's one of the biggest parts of like the plant-based diet is just the fact that like it's just so beneficial for our bodies.
And you know what
there's yeah.
Oh no, Hope, I'm sorry, continue.
It's okay. I was just gonna mention that, different people that go plant-based have different motives, and you can be like for me, for example, one of my biggest motives was, just, the animals and just looking at their circumstances. I was just, totally against that. And I was like, I'm not going to be paying these people to continue to do that. Like if I can give my money to other industries and companies that are, still providing really good, healthy food, or maybe sometimes unhealthy food, as long as it's not like cruel, then like I'm going to give them my money over the other alternative that we're so used to. And then there's other people that, also, and I agree with this point of view as well, is that like it's just pretty detrimental to our health to, be eating a primarily meat-based diet, because our bodies really, they're not meant to be eating like that. So no matter what, like I think that the plant-based diet is it has so many benefits, and it's more morally correct. It's better for your body, and I don't know, you just kind of feel better about, the fact that, you're eating something that you fully agree with,
Yeah. I lost my train of thought. I was going to say something. I forgot.
Oh, yeah.
I hate when that happens. But
yeah, it's sad. Like, it's sad how many people think that heart disease is genetic, and that, because their mom or their dad and their grandma and grandpa and all these people in their family have like been taken because of, certain diseases. It's sad to find out that, those very diseases are caused by diet, and it could be prevented. And these big companies that are, providing this unhealthy food for us, they're at the same time brainwashing us so that way they can continue to make their profits and succeed. And it's really not for our best interest. It's definitely not for the animals' the best interest or the environment.
I'm very conscious with like ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
Like I try to look at labels, and I try to look at like the ingredients. I know that some could like probably hide things in the ingredients, but I try to like, look at the ingredients for everything. And I'm like, what does, I've learned so much. I'm like, oh, like what does this do? Is this like carcinogenic? Is this gonna cause a disruption for, am I sensitive to this? And I've been getting like most of my products that I have are like, I'm like conscious about the ingredients, like what is in here, what am I putting in my body, especially like what I, when I go to the shower, what I wash with, what, my hair care, any sort of makeup, like I don't know. That's how,
and it sucks that like that we live in a world where we have to try.
I know.
Why can't we just live in a world where like, we have the clarity that, anything that is being sold to us isn't gonna damage us.
I know. Sometimes I'm like, why do you put this in here? And I'm like, why is there a chemical in here that's not good? I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
Yeah.
I swear.
Yeah, and it's all just for money.
I know.
If money was, but I think that's the good thing about our generation is that, we're really, we're more mindful to the fact that, these big companies don't have our best interest in mind. And, we're being more conscious about the things that we buy. And so that's kind of forcing.
I feel like now everyone's like, we learn so like, do you notice that, Hope? Like everyone's becoming, and quote unquote, this is what I'm like, quote, like labeling it as awakening. I feel like everybody is like more aware of like the most smallest things that we weren't aware of before. And I love that.
Literally.
Like I'm really curious about where we're heading, because there's so many good things that, are happening. I think there's some good things that are happening. I mean, that's how I should have that mindset, there's good things happening and coming in the future. But like, I feel like everyone is like, we're getting like, we're becoming more aware of a lot of like crap that like companies are doing, and like investing into
Yeah.
like what, like the good of the planet, and you know, the good,
Yeah.
like, I don't know, for our future too. I don't know. um
Yeah. And I think the fact that we um and the whole situation with climate change and
yeah,
everything like that, the fact that we're
especially.
learning that this, yeah, that's literally forcing us to say, like, what the hell? Like, why are things like this? Why have they been like this for so long if the evidence has been here for, 50 plus years?
Yes.
And, because the people previously, the generations before us haven't acted on it,
No,
but,
exactly.
we know that this is our future. We're taking a little bit more, well, we're taking a lot more responsibility in saying, no, like, we're not going to continue to
The same
allow you to
pattern.
destroy our, yeah, yeah, because you're not going to be here for,
I know.
whatever.
Sometimes I'm like, you're gonna die.
It's brutal, but no, it's literally true. Like, the same people that, are, in charge of all these big corporations
Oh
that,
God, I know, dude. Oh
are
my God.
destroying our planet. Yeah, yeah,
You know, I'm happy. The other day, I went with to Target with my boyfriend, and the lady was like, She was like saying, she was like, the cashier. She's like, "Oh, thank you for bringing your own bag." Because I've always try to bring my own bag, my own, like,
yeah.
we have like reusable bags that me and my mom use and stuff to get groceries. And she
Mm-hmm.
was like, "I'm so happy you're doing that." And I'm like, "Oh, you're welcome." And she was saying that they're gonna start charging at Target for the plastic bags. I'm like, well, that's a step.
Perfect.
I'm like, that's good. I'm like, that's nice. I'm like, that they're gonna start charging. But yeah, Hope, like, I don't know. It was
Yeah.
some documentary where they were like trying to get like these like plastic bag, this one plastic bag or like bottle company, whatever. And it was just literally, Hope, it was just a bunch of old men. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
you guys, like, they're still gonna do it because of the money. And like, that's sort of,
Mm-hmm.
what's funny is that um it's sort of what's happening with investments, and what I keep seeing. I like reading the news, and I was reading
Yeah.
about how like the young generation are really putting their like power in companies that are doing like better, and the other ones are like
Yeah.
failing because that's not what we want. And like,
Mm-hmm.
if we don't consume like that, like if like everyone stopped using plastic bags, then those companies will start suffering.
Yeah.
And it sucks
Exactly.
that that's how it is with like climate stuff. Like, we have like, all of these things that are happening with the climate, where like, these big like oil companies are being taxed more, or they have more like less incentives and all of these things. And that's sort of shifting, like forcing the company to say, hey, there's more money over here. We have to start
Yes.
shifting. It sucks that it's about money.
Um,
Like, you know, this company that produces plastic, when they see profit happening over here, in alternatives, then they're gonna go over there. Like, it
mm-hmm.
just sucks that it's not like, oh, because it's the good of the planet. No, it's because it's gonna make me more money. Like,
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah. And that's,
it just sucks.
mm-hmm.
I mean, not all of them, but some of them are like that.
No, like, that's totally on point. And I think that it sucks that it's like that, but then at the same time, it's only like that because of demand of the consumers, right? So that
Yes,
really does give us all the power,
we do have all the
just like
power.
all of it. Yeah, just like, you know, Impossible Whopper is now at Burger
Oh
King,
yeah,
Beyond Burger is at Carl's Jr.
all
And
of them. Taco
you know,
Bell. Taco Bell's doing their own alternative meat now.
no way.
Yeah, Taco Bell is like making an alternative meat option, a vegan meat. So
What?
like, I'm like, oh, I do like I do like Taco Bell. Like, I do like
Yeah.
Taco Bell, and I'm kind of
Uh,
excited that they're gonna have that option. I know KFC has a
No,
vegan
I'm so
chicken.
excited.
All of these
Oh my
companies,
gosh, they've done, honestly, out of all like the alternative meats, I feel like vegan chicken has been like the most
the most, yeah.
uh, on point. Yeah, like
But yeah,
it's so
I
so
don't know.
good. Yeah,
That's a step. I like to call it a step. Um,
the step. And like, if we are buying those products and like they're seeing that like we're buying all those products, they're gonna continue to expand, that part of um their project of providing plant-based things. So
Yeah.
I always try and, like the Impossible Whopper tastes the exact same as a
It
regular
literally
Whopper.
does. Oh my God.
The same, dude. And it's almost the same price too. So,
Yeah.
if I'm like, hey, you could just buy that. Like,
I'm like willing
show
to
them that.
spend the extra $1 for something more, better.
And eventually it'll get to the point where like,
Yeah.
it's not even more expensive because they're making so much of it,
Exactly.
But in order to get there, we need to have enough people putting the demand in.
Yes. And it's getting there. It's been I actually noticed, I'm sure you did and everybody else. I remember a time where there was no like alternative, like any, I'm gonna focus more on the meat options, but there's like other alternatives too. But like alternative meat options in a lot of stores. And then I remember it was like just a couple of years ago where me and my mom would be going to the grocery store, and slowly now they added a full section with alternative meats. And then there's now at Target, like Target has that now. And like a lot of these places now have these like products that are more like, the ingredients are more like better if I want to, and then there's like more labels, like, more just healthier options, I would say. Like it's been happening, like it's slowly been getting there. So that's exciting.
I get so excited. Yeah, like if I see something new at the store and I'm like, this wasn't here last time.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, I can get it now. It's exciting.
And I think, yes, it's exciting, and also it really goes hand in hand with the whole climate change situation as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Animal agriculture is so bad for the environment. It takes up so much water, so much land,
so much farts.
So
much cow farts.
Literally. Yeah, all that methane.
Methane.
One of the like biggest reasons why the Amazon is being cut down is because of animal agriculture. They're making more room.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize that, and it's just so sad. But the more people like you and I that are willing to talk about it and willing to set the example, and say no, I think that is what's changing things,
So if anybody out there's listening, like try like little by little, like picking up your trash.
Yeah.
Like these little things. Like I try to tell my niece, she's so young, she's the next generation, and I tell her, I'm like, this is what's happening. You need to do this. I'm not saying you need to. And it's funny because like the 4 Agreements talks about that, like, like I'm sort of like implanting like a seed, like to her. I'm like, this is what's happening with the planets and the animals. This is what you can do. Like I try to tell her, like, and she's understanding more, like, I don't know, just because it's important, because she's the new, she's the next one, and I have to do my best now for her. Like I'm like, it's just scary. Like you look at the data and you're like, we really need to do something now. Because we don't,
like now,
it's a small window, very small. The power of now, everyone.
Yeah.
Hope, do you have like any, like, did you want to talk about your I know that you're working on some stuff that you're excited about.
Yeah, it's still in the works, so I'd rather keep it under the radar for now.
Is it something you like wanted to do for a long time, and like you're finally like bringing it in, or not?
No, honestly, it was pretty random, and I think that it's just, I've been really thinking about my sources of income, and how am I going to break free from this 9-to-5 cycle?
I feel like everyone's like that. I've been reading like like I said, I like read the news, and I think I don't know which generation, because we have like different generations, but like it was saying that how we're more like you said, where people want more, like we want to live more, if that makes any sense.
Right.
Like,
yes,
we don't want to work. Like people are doing things like to retire early, or like find, like you said, other sources of income to live more. Like our generation, like including me, we're like, I just want to live more. I don't want to be like stuck, if that makes any sense.
Exactly.
It's just, I don't know.
Like, why am I going to work for, this corporation or this company that, is not in line with what I believe in. I work right now at a dealership, and we sell vehicles that run on gas, and gas is terrible for the environment. So,
me working at Amazon. I mean, I need a job, but Amazon is not really that good. It's not that good.
You can only do so much, like we can't change everything all at once. But we can take the small steps.
It's interesting how the future will be. I'm like, since, because we have that same mind, like all of this, our generation is like that. Like you just said it, like we want to live more. I wonder how like the future will be. Like how, how will that change our jobs, or, all of those things. I think that's interesting.
I feel like we're here to kind of break the cycles that have been, and you can't just break the cycles without creating new ones. So,
period.
I think that's really exciting, and that's really where I'm headed. And I mean, whatever project that I'm working on right now, and it's not necessarily what I want to do in the long run, but I do want to get a taste of that life and figure out certain things, because you don't know what you don't know. So I just want to start somewhere, and I have my end goal, and I definitely one of my biggest goals is to just contribute to a more sustainable society, and so we'll see how that works out. And I definitely think that this generation is here to fuck shit up in a good way, in the best way.
We're here to change it, sweetie. Break the status quo. Well, we've been talking, Hope, for an hour and 17 minutes. That's a pretty decent amount. I wanted to say that I wanted to say that I had this on my notes the other day that I thought it was really interesting. Me and my boyfriend were like in the mountains, like having a little like Valentine's honeymoon moment. And this guy, he was like, there was a lot of couples, but this guy, he was like yelling, and he was saying, Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. And like, me and him thought that was like the most like coolest thing, that he like spread a little bit of kindness to everyone. So I hope, your name, Hope, is just always, I'm like, Hope's name is Hope. Like, that's cool. Try to spread a little kindness to someone, because that can go, that the ripple effect, sweetie, that can go a very long way. Just a little kindness. And I want to say to everyone to try to do like micro meditations throughout the day, like focusing on your breathing, like 10 seconds, and becoming aware of like the world around you, and like paths that happen to you, and try to like be mindful, because that's like, I don't know, there's so many stresses, especially during these times and all that. So that's
be curious
and
ask
be curious.
Questions.
Stay curious. Hope, did you I don't know, you said right now on your on chat about your little something's baking in the oven.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you wanted to.
I got a little. Well, I mean, it's gonna be known eventually. I have a little baby in the oven.
Oh my god!
It's cute.
Oh, bit I can't.
Yeah.
Let me give you some fake applause. Woo! Hope, I when you said that, I was like, wow, that's so cool. Hope, I don't know, Hope, like what's, oh my god. Dude, like I can't.
I know.
I told my parents, I was like saying that to my parents. I'm like, I'm not remember Hope, and like they were all like happy. My mom says that she says that it's a girl.
And she was right.
Oh wait, you checked?
yeah, it's confirmed. It's a little baby girl.
Oh wait, no. Wait, didn't you want a girl? Oh my god.
Yes, dude. I was like, trying not to be like set on what I wanted, like, because I know that you really can't control the outcome, but everyone was telling me that it was a boy. So I was like, okay, maybe that's what I believe. But, Your mom was
No,
one of
my
the
mom
only
was
people that was
like,
right.
it's a girl. And I was like,
Mm.
okay, that is so funny. That's amazing, Hope.
Yeah.
I'm so like, I don't know. I think that, I don't know. That's just like cool. And like,
Mm.
we got to build a really, really great world for like this new being that, like, I don't know. That's just
Yeah.
like, I think that's so cool. That's amazing,
Yeah.
Hope. I'm like, so
Yeah.
like, I'm like, I don't know. Like, you're like going through like some journey. Like, you're like gonna experience that. I think that's so pretty. Like, you're gonna, I don't know. That's so
Mm.
cool, Hope. Like, congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm really excited. At this point, she can actually start to hear the outside world. So everything we've been
Wow.
talking about, she's been listening. It's just,
Hope.
it's
That's amazing.
fascinating.
That's gonna be so
Yeah.
cool. Like, I don't know. I imagine like, you know, I'm sure that this podcast will be here like unless like all of these companies just randomly die. But that's cool that like one day you could
Yeah.
be like, oh, I was on a podcast, or like I have my own
Yeah.
podcast. That's what I like with my YouTube channel. Like the old videos that I
Mm-hmm.
have on there. I
Yeah.
like I like that, you know, if I have kids in the future, or like my niece when she grows up, she could like see herself, like, or see me at a young age. Like, I think
Mm-hmm.
that's so, you know, beautiful. So
Yeah. Making memories.
Hope, did you want me to add your Instagram handles and all that in my show notes? Did you want that?
Yeah. Yeah. That's perfectly fine.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna have Hope's handles, whatever handles you want me to put in the show notes. If everyone wants to, anybody listening wants to check out Hope and your, you know, whatever you whatever you post on your, you know, Instagram and all that. And
Mainly my cat.
yes, mainly your cats. Your cats are so pretty, dude. I'm allergic to cats, but I like cats.
Aw.
Me and my boyfriend like cats and all of these other things, and like I think we would have the most like deepest conversation, all of us together. Like we're on like the same. I don't know. I think that's so pretty, like cool. Like, I don't know. But anyways, I don't want to like keep this too long. So I'm gonna end it here. I don't know if do you have any like last words, Hope, that you want to say?
No, I just want to thank you. It was awesome talking to you. You know, and I'd definitely be down to do this again. Just let me know. And
Yay,
I'm really proud of
season
you.
2.
I think that this is awesome, super inspiring, and
Thank you, Hope.
I'm excited to see you grow.
Hope, thank you so much. That means so much. That means a lot to me. Like, thank you. Like, I truly
No
appreciate it.
problem.
And I'm so happy the universe like brought me to you in some way. I don't know. Like, I did take a lot. I learned a lot from you, and I actually like I don't know. Like, sometimes I'm like, I bring you up in like some weird situation. I'm like, oh no, I remember Hope did this, or like, I don't know. Like, it's just you made a great impact, and I want to let you know that you did make an impact in like many ways, a lot of different ways, and I appreciate.
Yeah, and
that.
you're the same.
Thank you, Hope. Okay, well,
for sure.
I'm gonna end it here, the podcast. So,
all right.
Thanks for listening, everyone, to this era.
Bye. Peace,
and
love, goodbye.
Yeah. So make sure that to be mindful and spread a little kindness, and to do little like things like pick up your trash, please. Someone likes trash. Thank you, Hope, for joining me.
And thank you for having me.
Thank you, Hope. All right, guys, if you would like to, show me some love on your, and if you're listening to Apple Podcasts, on Apple Podcasts, you can leave me a review. I would really, really much appreciate it. I know, Hope, you left me a review. Thank you, Hope, so much for leaving me a review. And stay tuned for next week, where we will talk about I have like 2 episodes left. When you have clarity, you can execute. I hope I have some information I can talk about that. And episode 10, I'm going to talk about the banal and mundane. I don't know if I said that right, but that's going to be the end of like season 1. So I'm so excited. And that's crazy, Hope. Oh my God, like the number 8, and this is episode 8. I think that's so incredible. Anyways, I'm going to stop rambling. Thanks guys for listening. All right. Bye everyone.